Another week, another win for the crew.
Absolutely. Glad to be back on the bench with you guys.
Hey, I'm here with my buddy Cole this week. Fellow dad. Cole's got way more experience than me. Why don't we just jump right into it? Cole, what's your dad resume? How many kids do you have? How long have you been a dad? Boys, girls?
4 kiddos, 14-year-old boy, 12-year-old girl, 10-year-old girl, and 1-year-old boy.
Nice. Yeah.
So I've been dad 13 years, and it's been good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you are financially sound. I taught all of
Did you
Cole's
call me financially?
financially sound. I taught all of Cole's older kids, and I did such a bad job. He was able to sue the school for millions because it just
Yeah.
set them back years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, we don't need a college fund for him anymore because they got fucked up pretty bad in first grade. Can we curse
that's
on this?
exactly right. Oh yeah,
Okay.
like,
All right.
fucking right.
That's a little bit.
Is that? Oh, okay. Sorry.
So-
I guess I don't know the rules.
So yeah, no, you were my kid's first grade teacher. My 14, 12, and 10-year-old in
Yeah.
the same school. And then you left.
Yep.
Which
I
is
did.
fine. My 1-year-old is not going to go to that school.
Which is okay. Yeah. So he'll have a better first grade teacher than me. And then
It's a little more.
we ended up working together too, which is kind of cool. After I left, I just came and like, oh, Cole seems cool. I'll go work with him. So
Yeah, some big draw.
yeah, yeah, the big draw to the office. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what are some of the important? So I guess I should rephrase this. A lot of dads that just give you information. A lot of dads that come on, we don't have a lot of like girl dads on for whatever reason. Most of the people I've had come on have boys, and I think they're more eager to share their wisdom that they think they have or like their ideas. How do you look at it differently being a dad to boys and girls? Like, do you do anything different or is it just all the same? And
Yeah, I mean, you relate to them different.
Yeah.
Obviously, I always told people. This might have been. I don't think it was misogynistic because they're my kids. Like I always wrestled with my boys and then cuddled with my girls.
yeah,
And now that they're older, my 12-year-old, and even now, my 12-year-old, my 10-year-old is so different
yeah,
as far as even girls go. You know, my 12-year-old is obviously going through the 12-year-old, 13, 12-year-old acting like she's 22 type thing. But my 10-year-old is still younger and still more kid-like.
yeah,
So it's just like, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between even males and females. It's just, if you're a good parent, you try to be a good parent every kid differently.
okay,
Whether you have 7 boys or 7 girls. Yeah.
nice, okay.
So I don't know. I mean, you just treat them different. And you just treat not different. You just treat them like they need to be treated and are able to.
So you more parent the individual rather than like a group approach. Would you say that?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's like saying as dads, you date your daughters. Take them out, you spend time with them. My 10-year-old plays softball. I told her I'd coach her, which is like our dating time, and it's so meaningful to her.
That's awesome.
And my 12-year-old is just talking about the things she likes to talk about, and she's a little bit more of her mom's girl now because of the young tween teenage stuff
Yeah.
that I don't know anything about. But still, like, you just learn some of them like to cuddle. Some of them want to cuddle for 5 seconds and then go do something else. And, everybody's different. So
That's what.
girl, boy, I've never really thought about it. Actually, I hate the term girl dad, #girl dad.
Yeah.
I really hate it.
Yeah.
I just do. I just don't.
What about boy mom?
What do you think about that?
I think there's like certain things that come with it because Courtney, when she says I'm a boy mom, it's totally different than like, man, I'd hate to say this, but like a girly girl being like, I'm a boy mom. Like Courtney doesn't go get her hair done. She doesn't go get her nails done.
Yeah.
She's, if we had a farm, she'd be out there probably before me. So like, I think it's different coming from Court than it is other girls. Because I think Courtney just enjoys the things the boys like.
Yeah.
Not saying that like other moms don't.
Sure. Well, like some of them don't.
Yeah. Some of them don't.
My wife doesn't.
Yeah. So yeah. But like, I know some moms that are like, man, Bauer is a rough player. And I don't think he is. Like, I think he's just a boy.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it's just dependent on who it is. Yeah. Some people are allowed to say it. Some people aren't allowed to say it. Yeah.
And I think that's part of it too. Even with, I mentioned my 10-year-old being a softball player, my 12 and 14-year-old have played sports too. And because of my wife's schedule, because they play for the school mainly, because of my wife's schedule, she's not able to go. But because of my schedule, I'm able to usually go to basketball games or cross country meets or something like that. And so I think that's kind of, and you talked about how we relate to our kids, but I think that's how even my wife and I have related to each of our kids. She spends a lot more time with them as far as, hey, let's go out and have coffee or let's go shopping and stuff like that. I know that sounds, I'm not trying to sound sexist or anything.
No, no,
That's
no.
just what they do.
Yeah.
But then like for me, I'm able to go to their games but we just relate to them in different ways. And again, that's the whole girl boy thing is all your kids, whether they're girls or boys, if they play sports, it's good to be at their sporting games if you can make it.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
And whether you're a mom or a dad, it's good to spend individual one-on-one time with your kids. And so that's just kind of the way my wife and I have figured it out. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're closer to one, sometimes closer to the other. And that's just, but then as a parent, you just roll punches and always try to
adapt.
and say my kid's way more important than I am. I'm growing kids for life and just go with it and do what's best for them. So
Nice.
that's kind of my philosophy.
So since you said I'm growing kids for life, I want to ask you, do you have like a success? Do you have like a bar you're trying to hit with your kids? Like, is there something where you're like, oh, by the time my kid is an adult, I want them to be able to do this? Or are you just trying to like, are you taking it smaller? Like, I just want to do the best I can today. Or are you like, man, I like what I'm seeing, or I don't like what I'm seeing, or you're just confident? Like, what do you think is successful?
My answer is a lot more simple than what you're saying. I just
Okay.
I want them to be better than I am.
Nice.
I mean, and
So
that's
it's a low bar.
it's a low bar. Yeah. If they can read and write, they are doing better than I am.
Well, they didn't get any help in first grade.
No, they
That's
were real
damn
fucked
sure.
over. It was a bad
Yeah,
school.
it was tough.
Just total shit. But yeah, I mean, and I know that's, and I know that sounds stupid. And if I were to talk to my kids later, it'd be like, what do you, and I actually, they have asked me that before now that I think about it.
Yeah.
What do you mean to be better than you? And I just like, I want you to be just a person who is, not that I'm not respecting society. Like you're not the only person that will entertain me or entertain my thoughts, Gilbert. But you know, just like people who are supremely well adjusted in society, who do a job and do it well, whatever that job is. I mean, and I don't mean like fame, fortune, money, power stuff. I don't give a shit about that. And maybe I don't give a shit about that because I don't have it. But I just want them to be good citizens, good people who think about why they think about and believe things, and then really pour into those things.
Nice.
Be consistent people, hardworking people that they'll just make willy-nilly decisions with relationships, and eventually, you know, if they settle down with someone, great. If not, great. But just do smart things either way.
So when you have something you feel you've handled incorrectly, I guess, or you could have handled better, do you bring that up to them if it's appropriate or something? Like, I'm sure you're not like, oh man, I had a 13 leg parlay, I put $10,000 on, I didn't hit. Guys, don't ever do that. But like, if it's something smaller, like I yelled at our dog Timber really loud the other day, and I was not polite with things I said. And I told Bauer later, like, dude, I yelled at her and I should have done that. I don't think he understood, but like, do you do that with your kids actively, or you just kind of letting them watch and ask you about it later?
No, 100%. The times where I've done poorly with my parenting against my kids, almost all the time I try to go to them and say, listen, Dad is a jackass. Dad fucked up. Don't do that. You know, just flat apologize.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's so important I don't want my kids to think, you know, I think my kids all look up to me because I make them, but I
know they do.
Yeah. But also like, I don't want to provide them with a false narrative of what manhood or parenting is, that listen, even though dad does this shit, it's okay because dad does it.
Yeah.
So no, it's really important to me the amount of times I've apologized to my kids is a lot.
Several.
And I don't mind that. Like, and then like be able to go down. But and that goes back to what I said about spending individual time with them. The times where I go into their rooms, and they're upset with me and rightfully upset with me, and sit on their bed and be like, listen, guys, after dad needed some time to cool down, I did a really stupid thing. I sinned against you. Shouldn't have done it. I'm going to ask for your apology. And then I always looked at too, like it's one of those things I've really loved about parenting is like kids, like thoughts towards you is like new every morning. Like there's a Bible verse that says your grace is new every morning. And that's talking about Jesus and God, but like for my kids, it just is like true. Like they can go to bed really upset with me. Then in the morning, it's just like, hey, Dad, and I fucking love it.
That's awesome.
I do. And I don't know if I think it's more, I don't know, like as an adult, I don't know about you, but when I go to bed pissed, about 80% of the time I'm going to wake up pissed.
Yeah.
And then I had the bad luck of staying up for 3 hours laying in bed being like, stupid mother.
Oh man, yeah. I get that.
So, but they just, to this point in their lives, they have not done that. It's just been I don't know. I really like that about kids.
Honestly, that probably comes from the home that they're in. Like that they're able to, that you've apologized or you've had that talk with them. They're probably able to just like, oh, you know what? Water under the bridge. Like he said, sorry, we talked about it. I can move on from this. Like I bet they're just strong enough that way to be able to,
I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with me because I was the one that fucked up in the first place. But yeah, that's just one of the fascinating parts of kids to me.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I don't know. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, I think you answered it perfectly. Yeah, so I won't ask that question again because there's not a better answer.
If you were to ask it in a different way, I wouldn't know you asked it in a different way. I'd be like, oh God, that's really insightful.
That seems like a lot of work to come up with a different way to ask it.
But it wouldn't, when I say different way, if you just changed like a word or two, like instead of kids, you said sons and daughters, I totally would not catch it.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll consider that since you did the work for me.
Yeah, but I don't think you remember the question either.
Well, good thing I recorded it so I can go back and write it down.
And then I'll come back.
Yeah, and then I can go to this
in the same exact outfit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that would be great. Maybe change the hat, but that's okay.
I mean,
so I have two routes I want to go on now. I think I'm going to ask them the easier one, not the other one's hard. The one I'm more familiar with. Have you gotten to coach, except for your youngest, have you gotten to coach all your kids at one time or another in different sports?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's been fun. My older two, I coached 1 year in soccer and they were like 5 and 4.
Are you a soccer player?
I was, but that was 60 pounds ago. But yeah, and 25 years ago, but, I coached them. I mean, that's just, like half the kids are picking daisies, half the kids actually care.
Yeah.
So I did that and I don't think they have any good experiences and bad experiences from it. But then I've been able to coach my older son in basketball 1 or 2 times. My oldest daughter in basketball 1 or 2 times. But she's the type of girl where she's a lot better without parent coaching.
Oh, okay.
She just really she's so social.
Yeah.
She's okay with anybody coaching her.
Nice.
And she automatically becomes one of those people who wants to lead on a team. So I just realized that. And I would like to coach her more, but she doesn't need me to. Now my daughter, my 10-year-old, I coached her in basketball once. And then I've coached her in softball a couple times. And now I'm coaching her in a little bit a larger facility capacity.
Nice.
Now. But yeah, no, I've loved it. I've loved it.
Did you play all those sports or were there any sports where you're like, man, I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to try it because my kid or?
No, that's a good question. I've definitely dabbled in those sports. Like I played competitive soccer and competitive baseball, and then basketball was just always a pickup game that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
But so I've played them and I have pretty extensive knowledge of them. But I never thought about like, oh, this is a coaching tactic that our coach used. Let me try this. So if I were to try to coach him my older two have run cross country.
Yeah.
And I try to go to the cross country meets. And when I do go to the cross country meets, there's a lot of really fit parents there and like really fit. And I feel out of place. I don't belong, but
I don't understand why. I think if you dressed more fit it would make you look more fit? You show up in jeans?
Lululemons,
Oh, okay. All right.
are those are fit pants.
Assume so. It sounds like something a fit guy would wear is Lululemons.
I thought that's what hockey players wore, is Lululemons.
Not that I'm aware of. No. So there's probably some low end hockey players that wear them, but at my level, we don't.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so
I'm
so
good to
you
know a
feel,
non-low level hockey player.
so you feel out of place there.
Oh, that's what I do.
Yeah.
I do feel out of place there. And so in cross country meets, it's kind of funny, and I didn't know this until I went there. But you kind of figure out the course,
Yeah.
and then so you can stop here and wait for your kid to run by you, and you kind of like jog. Fit people jog. I lollygag and see them somewhere else, and then they're running for 3 miles or something like that. So there's a couple times, depending on the course, you can go and see. And I realized early on that when the other fit parents, their kids would run by, they'd like actually
They were just running with them for a while.
they'd run with them, and then also like not yell, but like loudly say, "These are training tips to help you." Like breathe or arm, do something with your arm or something like that. And literally, my only thing for now 2 years, my daughter run, my only coaching is run faster, and I don't think that's helpful. But I think
would
it is.
assume
Like,
in
I
a
think it's
race
the
of-
most helpful.
In a race of running, I would assume run
Yeah,
faster.
run faster.
I think that's a golden tip.
I think so too.
Do not more parents say that? Like they probably
would
should all
think
be saying
I-
that.
They're fit, which means they don't work as much on their mind.
That's fair. Yeah, they
you know.
don't have the cognitive
Yeah,
abilities.
I am
that
not
have.
fit, which I have more time to work on my mind, and I don't either.
But you have tips like in a sport you've never competed in, you can say run faster while your kid is running. That is
There's no like run slower is the antithesis
yes.
of what you're wanting to do.
As a former educator, I think you are tapping into higher level thinking.
Right.
Yes, with that.
You were a college professor,
No, I taught first grade.
Oh.
Yeah.
so a higher level of first grade thinking.
Higher level first grade thinking, you have, if you haven't achieved it, you definitely flirted with it. Yeah.
Well,
Close.
I'll continue to press into that. Yeah, I should have my kids play more. My kids are going to run track this spring.
Nice.
So if they run faster. If they throw faster, harder, farther, throw farther.
I would assume if you threw it faster, it would go farther. Yeah.
I think so too. And then
You jump
jump
faster.
higher. Jump higher.
Oh, jump
Go
higher.
higher. A
Higher is
triple
better than
jump.
faster.
Yeah, I mean a high jump, obviously higher.
Yes. Yeah.
A pole vault, pull more.
Yep.
I think there's. Yeah,
I think there's a lot.
I've
there
always
that
kind of
we
looked
can-
down on myself for that.
Yeah. No, I think that you are at the top level. Like
Do you think I could coach like high level cross country?
with advice like that, I don't think it would take you very long to figure out how to take Laramie to a state level, then a national level, then ultimately an Olympic level.
I think-
with
I
your
think-
advice,
Yeah, like other than one foot in front of the other.
which is golden as well. Like,
Yeah, like that's just you should. By the time I can't imagine the number of people who come to like a high level cross country program and don't know about one foot in front of the other.
I imagine it's got to be 98%
It's a little
that
bit.
don't know it.
How are they being coached?
That's what I've always wondered too at these events, because I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Brink from Disney Channel.
I don't really.
The guy's an extreme skater, and his sister comes up with the advice. Extreme skater. Well, the sister comes up with the advice. She says,
Are we
"Skate."
Are we sponsored by Disney Plus?
We are sponsored. No, not by Disney Plus, but by Brink. Now's probably a good time for the ad read. Brink, check it out.
Disney Plus.
That was the ad read.
Yeah.
But she says, "Skate better," and I always thought,
Like for real?
for real, that's what she says.
Okay.
Because he's losing, and he goes, "Oh, I know what I should do now. Skate better," to like mock her. But then he skates better and he wins the contest. So I don't understand why this 7-year-old had to be the voice of reason.
Yeah.
When he's like 14, and he had parents too that were there. None of them told him that with the 7-year-old.
You're telling me my coaching tips showed up in a Disney movie?
Yeah. A Disney made for TV movie, not just one of the ones they throw on the big screen, a made for TV. And they put the real effort in those because so many more go out.
I thought my advice was proprietary.
Yeah.
You know what that word means?
No, I have no idea. Why don't you explain it to all of us? Because I'm sure most of the listeners, I've got 18 subscribers, by the way. I'm sure most of the listeners are a little confused as well.
17 now, but no,
Look it
it's
down.
proprietary. Like I owned it. I had a patent on it. I'm not sure I'm describing that exactly right, but like it was my idea. Like it was my original idea.
Yeah.
Run faster. You'd never heard that before.
I'd never heard that
What's,
before.
what's that look for?
I was nothing. It's just I
No,
was
there was
giving
a
a
look.
look. I was trying to do like an office look. All right, I was trying to do like a. Is what I was doing.
Which character?
Obviously, Michael. Like I'm not smooth and cool like Jim. I'm gonna say something stupid like, "What is proprietary?" You mean it's like Michael? So
Like a Creed. Kevin.
yes, I'll do it, Kevin. I'll take it, Kevin. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, also, it's encouraging to know that I could be a screenwriter.
Without a doubt. Yeah. Yeah. Especially for sports movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why am I hanging out with you?
I don't know. I felt like maybe I was more fun to hang out with than it was to be rich and famous.
Based on
That you're not rich and famous and you're hanging out with me instead. I've got a lot of data right now. I've literally got a video of us hanging out.
mhm.
So
This is all editable though.
this is all editable, and I won't edit this part out. But yeah. So, all right. My next question, I guess I should ask,
Okay.
is let me go back to this one a little bit. Is one, I like that you're able to find some level of comfort at sports you're not familiar with, because when I coach my kids, I only know hockey. One time I played volleyball with Courtney. She goes, watching you play hockey, I thought you'd be athletic. You're not. You're only good at hockey.
They don't.
They don't correlate at all. So like when Bauer comes to me and he inevitably says, I want to play soccer, I want to play basketball, I have no idea how to do either of those. I'm not going to be able to coach, but I want to. So I think I'll just be the guy there that picks up the balls when everyone's done. So,
That's good.
but yeah, I think that's a good
Like
role
a
for
ball
me.
boy.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'll go back a little bit. Like when I coached, I played, you might have noticed, and I don't, maybe you didn't notice, but I played baseball growing up.
Okay.
I did not play softball growing up. You catch that.
And baseball is like softball for boys.
Mm-hmm. Just a different name.
Okay.
One boys play, one girls normally play.
Okay.
But the big difference is the pitch. And, it's like, it's an underhand pitch.
Yeah.
And so that's just a lot of YouTube videos. YouTube videos.
Yes.
And so, you just pick those up but you're also teaching 10-year-olds.
Yeah.
And for the most part, they don't know what they're doing. And so you just, as a coach, I try to look at enough videos and be like, okay, this makes sense to teach 10-year-olds. This makes sense on a level that they physically and mentally can get it. And then you can kind of teach that. And so that's, I thought it would be a struggle for me, but it's actually kind of fun to say like, oh, I'm learning right along with these girls. Now, will I tell them I'm learning right along with them? I don't know if that'd be good coaching, but I enjoyed it.
Nice.
It's a totally different thing. And now we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't played in the actual games yet. We might get our asses kicked.
And then
But
at that
that's-
point, you would just reassess. And
Yeah. But if we get our asses kicked, that's their fault.
that is true. It's the players, not the coach.
Yeah. Coach. I mean, I consider myself the Vince Lombardi. You don't know who that is.
I've heard talk about that around town. Yeah.
The
He coached one of the ball sports.
yeah, I'm trying to think of the most. Who's the hockey guy with the mustache?
Gonna have to be way more specific than that.
He's a coach, balding.
Also, more specific than that, a balding mustached hockey coach. I don't know any of them.
Who's the best?
For Chicago.
Stanley. He's the best hockey coach in the world, isn't he?
Bowman? Yeah, Stan Bowman.
No, Stanley. Whoever the Stanley Cup was named after.
Oh, yeah. So that's actually named after, he's a Lord. He had nothing to do with hockey. He didn't play. He enjoyed the game. So he's just like, oh, here's the cup.
That's a
There's-
really lame story.
No, it's kind of cool because it lasted this long. So
No, it's not named after anybody.
it's named after the guy who gave it to him.
It's not named after Stanley.
Yeah.
Lord Stanley.
Lord Stanley. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Oh, that's kind of lame.
but yeah. So, no, I think you're probably thinking of the Chicago coach, Joel Quenneville. Like, he won a ton. Scotty Bowman won a ton. There are quite a few really, really good coaches.
I've heard of those names. Oh,
What about-
Quenneville. Didn't he coach the Blues?
Yeah. He coached the Blues for a while. Yeah.
I knew a couple Blues back in the day.
Yeah.
Not personally. We didn't hang out and drink together. But
Yeah.
Quenneville. That's
Quenneville, yeah.
That's what I was.
That's who you're
right
thinking of, yeah.
on the tip of my tongue.
No, super solid coach.
Yeah.
So,
Balding,
yes.
mustache,
Balding, mustache. Yeah. Great mustache.
kind of, but like a not like fit, like a fit rounder. Like a, you know,
Yeah.
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 Like
I'd say that.
tall, probably tall.
Tall. Yeah.
I think I know you. Yeah, Quenneville.
Yeah. You know Quinn.
Yeah, you didn't know who Quenneville was until I brought him up.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm so glad
Yeah.
you brought him to me, and
Joel.
you without saying his name could give me that name to say out loud, so I can.
If we had sat in front of a police sketch artist,
Yes, I
think
would
that
have
would've
got
been
it.
enough.
That's
You
would have been
you
enough.
would've
I
known
would have got
Joel
it from that.
Quenneville.
Yep.
We'll have to play that game.
I admire that you were able to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. So the other thing you mentioned a while back in our conversation was Bible verses. I assume that in your house, religion it's got like a space. I grew up not going to church.
Okay.
I grew up with my grandparents, my grandma was like, oh, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, but I don't go to church. My grandpa he was mad at God. And he was just like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to you about that. So Courtney grew up with church.
Mhm.
We found a church. I'm going, but I sometimes feel like a poser.
Same.
because I don't have like a lot of religious background.
Yeah.
Bauer, I think it's important for him to have that. I think it's important for Rustin to have that. They both like it. Bauer says church. He says amen when everyone says amen. And what I really, really love is when our pastor's ending the sermon, let's say he's got 3 sentences. At the end of sentence 1, Bauer claps and is just like clapping him off the stage at the Oscars. Like,
So wait a minute. Bauer is old enough to say like this is when a sentence ends. And
no. He just knows that. This is
there's
just
word-
timing. Yeah, there's timing
Oh, okay.
that I'm trying to tell you that he doesn't know.
Oh, yeah.
If our
Okay.
pastor has this much to say,
Yeah.
Bauer will start clapping at this
Okay.
area, and he's got to get through the rest
So
of
is
it.
it based on Bauer just like fire? Let's wrap this shit up.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel that.
I think that's where he's
Good for him.
at. So
Good for him.
yeah,
Okay, what was your question?
it's just like what role does religion have in your house? Like, do you have like a area where you're like, oh man, I want my kids to know this, or do you guys go to church, or
Yeah, kind of a little bit of both. We've had a bit of a shift. The COVID kind of shifted
a lot of people? Yeah.
and so that was part of it for us. My kids kind of stopped going then, and they so you stop a lot of like youth programs and all that stuff too. So they weren't a lot for them. They were younger, like 14, so they've been 8, 6, and 4, and it's hard to have an 8-year-old kid for Bauer sitting in there and clapping the guy off the stage. My kids were never mature enough for that, but they so that changed a little bit. But then recently, I go with a couple of my kids, and they're exploring it, and I know enough about it. Like I've studied a lot where I can kind of fill in the places, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And if they have questions about a song or a sermon or something like that, I'll be like, oh, and kind of fill in the gaps where.
That's awesome.
And so it's one of those things where I certainly want them to have a similar faith to mine, but I also want them to have. I guess it goes even back to being kind of a good citizen.
Yeah.
Very not all the way back, however long that was ago, but
A few hours.
few hours, yeah. And so I think it's important for them to just be able to find a really good semblance where it's not just crazy. Like, I don't know what I'm saying, Gil.
No, that's
We're
fine.
gonna
No.
edit this shit out.
I get that. No, honestly, I get that. Because it's something I want Bauer to like be confident with, and I want him to like have like a firm grasp on and like be able to talk about it. And I don't have that. So I'm like, I want you to have something I don't have.
Yeah.
Which seems so, and especially on like that level, because I honestly believe, so I've always appreciated God and Jesus, but I never went to church. I honestly believe that had we not found this church, we wouldn't have Bauer or Rustin. Like, so it's, yeah, I really do think that was a big part of it. I think that it was right after we left the school, Courtney and I found new jobs. We also found this church. And I think that was really God's way of saying like, dude, you've got what you need now, and now you're ready. So, because we waited for so long to have kids, that I was like, oh, I think this is important. I need to treat it as such.
Yeah.
Like this is
Yeah.
in a lot of ways one of the biggest things he'll ever do, if not the biggest.
Wow.
So
That's a crazy statement.
Yeah.
I mean, not in a bad way. Just like,
yeah, no, but it's
that's an
Yeah.
Obviously, that's life altering right there. I mean, kind of going back, and because of COVID, I think because of COVID for me, and maybe you and other people with younger children have maybe a leg up, and maybe I'm making excuses for myself too, but because my kids were out of it for a while because of all the COVID crap and not COVID crap,
But the COVID
the
business.
COVID business. Yeah, I wore a mask. How many followers does that lose us?
I think that actually gains 5 but loses 6. So
One step forward. Two
it's a
steps-
productive out, I think.
That's not. No,
Is that not how that works?
it's not. No,
Oh.
that means every time I mention COVID, we
Lose some and gain one more.
lose one.
Oh, okay, it's a reverse productive out.
And I think you can just use the word unproductive.
Yeah, well, tomato.
It's not how it goes, Dan Quayle. But I got way off.
No, you're good with the COVID. The COVID
COVID.
business.
The COVID business. But now that we're kind of getting out of that, it's kind of given, and because my kids are older and being able to think for themselves, I never wanted to shove anything down their throat. And it kind of goes back to the sports thing. I never wanted to shove sports down their throat.
Yeah.
If they want to do it, they wanted to do it. Great. I was going to encourage them to do it, but if they didn't want to do it, they didn't want to do it. And religion is kind of the same way for me. Like, obviously I care deeply that they have some sort of relationship with Jesus, but I realize that by shoving it down their throat, it would kind of be like a kid whose parent lives vicariously through them in sports.
Yeah.
And then the kid fucking hates
Yeah.
sports when
Yeah.
they're 12 or 18 and then talk to a counselor about it because they're just like, my parents wanted this for me and I never liked it. And da-da-da-da-da. So I don't want that. So, it's that delicate balance.
Yeah.
So
I'm with you on that because like one thing I've noticed with some churchgoers is like I want to do good in life because God's watching, and I've always thought, well, shouldn't you want to do good in life, and then God's watching you, and
Yeah.
like if you need direction, you can look that way. Like is how I've always kind of taken it. So
Yeah.
and I think the way you're doing it leads to that. It's like you don't have to do this because of this. You want to do this because you naturally find your way that way.
Yeah.
Like your kids find their way that
Yeah.
way. So
And I mean, and that's really the thing about parenting is, our kids, whatever you say, even if I or you, let's say you, for example.
Okay.
I don't want to make myself a center of attention. Like you dabble in hockey.
Yeah.
And so like, even if you never put your son or son's, Rustin's not good on skates right now, but
he's so weak. Just a real bender.
He just
Can't even stand that.
It's
Like,
pretty-
without
it's pretty pathetic.
It's-
Don't know what will stick.
I don't know when he's going to get his act together, but
You
he's a
hope-
month old today.
Yeah.
You would think it would come sooner than later, but he's fine just taking his time, sleeping the day away.
It really is. As a parent, I understand how frustrating it could be that a kid just doesn't take something as simple
As simple as hockey.
as hockey.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, all you can do is hope.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? Each day, wake up new, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hopefully one day he doesn't. He does. I don't want to say disappoint, but
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that for you as Rustin's parent.
Yes.
And he doesn't
And I will just say if he doesn't pick up hockey, like Bauer doesn't, I won't be disappointed. I'll just be mad.
Mad, and I mean,
Crippled. Really.
there's other places a kid can grow up. Like
There are a lot of
boarding
those
schools.
places. Yes.
Grandparents.
Yep.
The Wild.
I think the Wild would be generous,
Mhm.
and I think it would really build the
Yeah.
best
I
character.
mean, give them a machete. I don't know. Maybe cigarette or machete.
Yeah, I
Because-
think I'd give them a small knife so they could build a bigger knife. It's what
That's what I was saying.
form of
Yeah.
That way,
Make a spear.
Yep.
Yeah. Provide for themselves.
absolutely.
But what I was saying was that even if your boys if you never played with them in hockey, you never put them on skates, never give them a hockey stick, never showed them this penmanship, if they'd be, because it's important to you, because they can see you on the ice, they'd still be like, oh, that's what dad does because dad's my hero.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And so I think that's kind of what religion, that's what my hope is with religion too, where they see I take it seriously. And even though they might not want to do the church thing right now, I think the worst thing I can do is just shove a tube down their throat and
Yeah.
feed it to them.
I agree.
I mean, not to get too deep and religious, but I believe God works in everybody in different ways, and I hope I'm a good enough parent. Not even with religion. I hope I'm a good enough parent where they see some of the stuff I do and say, "Oh, that's not a jackass and everything. Maybe he does some good things. Maybe he has some good opinions."
I know your kids well enough, and I knew them especially well enough in first grade. Obviously, we were together every day, but I know that they look at you that way. At least they did
Yeah.
then. I'm sure that things haven't altered since then.
It's hard to say.
My
A
favorite,
lot happened since then.
if I can bring up one story, my favorite, where I think the only time there might have been any doubt in your ability
Mhm.
was you came and talked to me one time when your first girl was in my class because she asked me to open her snack. She goes, "Mr. Larry, I can't open this. Can you open this?" And I said, "Mr. Larry, I can open anything." So I opened her snack. And the next day or 2 days later, you came and talked to me. You're like, "Yeah, I had a hard time opening a jar at my house." And my little girl goes, "Maybe you should take it to Mr. Lowry. He could open anything." And you were like, "You need to stop this shit right now. Like, I'm not going to have you open my jars." And I'm just like, "Hey, do you have it with you? Like, I'd be happy to help."
Yeah, I asked her to be transferred from your class that day.
Yeah. And we looked at that request. We laughed at it. I have it framed, but yeah, it's not up here. I keep it in the vault.
Oh,
It's important to me.
how
Yeah,
big's your
so-
vault?
It's enough for that and $3.
So
Right. So it's my savings, my life savings.
you're rolling in, my friend.
Let me tell you,
Yeah, I don't remember that story, but it sounds like something I would say.
it's hilarious.
Yeah, she's the loud one, and not in a bad way.
No,
She's very, that's fun.
that's fair. All right, I think we're going to end it with one last question. It's meant to be a fun one. But if you were, I know you hate fun, and I do too, but some people like it. If you were to sum up you being a dad and like a quote from a movie or a quote from a song, or if you were going to pick like a TV dad that you're most like, what would you say, or that you'd like to be like? What would you say yours is?
I always liked how Walter White provided for his family.
Dude, he did whatever he had to do. I don't hate that.
No, he they made a career change.
And he didn't do it reluctantly. He committed himself, which is what I appreciate.
Yeah, he didn't just dabble.
Yeah.
It wasn't a side hustle. It was I'm going.
Yeah, it was, if
I'll
I'm
go
going to
for it.
take this seriously,
Yeah.
I'm going to take it seriously,
Yeah.
and I'm going to be successful.
And really, regardless of profession, the profession he chose doesn't matter. It's just it was a way for him to provide for his family.
Yep.
And he did it.
Give them a life they never thought they'd have.
No, they definitely didn't. It took them in a different direction
Yes,
than
things were
they never
stale.
would have thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the whole point of even the first episode. It's stale.
Yep.
So I admired.
Just builds from there. Yeah,
I'm a big Walter White.
I think that's one that a lot of us look up to is
Yeah.
Walter White.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think he's a role model.
I was going to say Tim Taylor from Home Improvement. And now I just feel silly thinking of someone like that rather than Walter White.
That's a lot of alliterative names. Walter White. I guess that's a plot
Oh,
point
I guess
in our
yeah.
show. Breaking Bad. Unless
Yeah.
nobody caught that. Tim Taylor, Home Improvement.
Yep.
Alliterative. You know what that?
Yeah, no, I know. For
You
sure
should know
what
as a
that
first
means.
grader.
Yeah, I'm familiar with
Not
that
as a
term.
first grader.
As
As
a
a first,
As someone who repeated first grade 9 times.
you would hope. Yeah, no, we don't
At
want you
one point.
to spell it alliterative. Or you would.
God,
There's no way.
I'm
You
not
couldn't,
gonna
as
spell
a
it,
first
no.
grader, just shouldn't expect it.
No.
But yeah, you should know what that means.
Yeah.
I feel like that plays out. You know?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It's got a place in the classroom there. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah. That would be my answer.
Sweet. I like it. Good one. Well, hey, thanks for coming on this episode.
It was a good one.
It was a great one. Hey, tell all your friends we're going to try and up that to 100,000 subscribers.